Hello guys. Let's see if that works. Let me know in the comments that you can hear me. I see somebody already asking about sound, so let's make sure it's working here before we get going. We got 6 watching, and I'm gonna, yep, there we go. Okay, we're good. Welcome everybody to our kind of impromptu celebration 2,000 subscribers live stream. I know it's been a while since we've done a live stream. We're actually outside today. We got the I'm out in the porch garden here. I got some beautiful tomatoes as my backdrop, and we figured we'd do a little not planned, as you can tell by the fact that I'm like setting up right now as we speak, not planned live stream, just to thank you guys for helping us to get to 2,000 subscribers. That was a while ago. 20,000 subscribers. Actually, 2,000 subscribers, I remember it was January, a year after we had started the YouTube channel, and we had just kind of hit 2,000 subscribers. And that was a big deal back then. That was like, you know, 2,000 subscribers. We're really doing this. Well, now we're on 20,000 subscribers. We couldn't have done it without you guys. And so we're just here to say thank you. And we're gonna catch you up on some details, talk a little bit about the future of the channel, what we're doing, what our plans are with the YouTube channel. I know a lot of you may have noticed that we haven't been super active on the Homesteady channel like we were. We're not doing a weekly or daily video or multiple weekly videos. We've kind of been cutting it back. So we're going to talk about all that. We're going to update you on farm goings on, what we've been up to on the farm and on the homestead, a little farm business talk about the podcast, the website, all this stuff. So thanks for joining us. And let us know. I'm watching the comments here. Chat in the comments. I see Brian says, try killing the lights. Brian, I'm playing with the lights here, trying to get it just right so it's not too glary, but it's not, if I shut my lights off, you can't hardly see me. So we'll dim it a little bit. Hey, Ben with a $5 super chat. Ben is always there supporting the Homesteady channel. Ben, did you get your Homesteady shirt? I'm waiting for that picture. I wanted a picture of Ben in his Homesteady shirt, but he says, thanks for the tractor episode. Glad you got your shout out there, Ben. Ben asked for a chicken tractor update, and so we helped him out with a little update. We got Allison Holly here. Allison's our editor for the podcast. She helps us out with podcast editing, and she survived the hurricane. She's down there in Texas, and she sent a picture of her neighborhood, and it was underwater. So guys, give a shout out to Allison. She helps us with the podcast. If you like the podcast, tell her you're glad that her tiny home on her homestead did not float away with all her podcast editing equipment. So we got a lot of old faces and old friends. We got some new ones here. Keeping It Dutch has joined us, guys. You can always check out Keeping It Dutch's channel. They got a nice homesteading channel there. Who else we got here with us? We got Pickers. We got Ben. We got Kayla. Congrats on 20,000. Thank you, Michael Collins. That was the name of the realtor who helped us find our homestead. Michael Collins. Is it you, Michael? Let me know. We got Alex, Brian, who's giving me some lighting advice here. Brian, keep it coming. And Ben says he forgot about the picture he's supposed to get me in his Homesteady t-shirt. So come on, Ben, get it over here. I'm waiting for my my centerfold of Ben in a Homesteady shirt. We got well done from Kate and I in Wales. Daniel, thanks guys, watching from Wales. We got a lot of people joining us today from all over, so this should be fun. First and foremost, I want to tell you guys, we're doing a survey over at thisishomesteady.com. If you want to win a $100 Tractor Supply gift card and help us shape the future of what we do with Homesteady, head over to thisishomesteady.com and fill out that survey. We have almost 500 surveys filled out. Of course, they're going to do like tree work on my road right now. I hear all these backup alarms firing off. Let's hope we don't have to move this inside. And anyway, fill out the survey. Let us know what you want, because we have this summer, we've kind of taken it, we've slowed down a little bit, and we've done this survey to see what do you guys want us to produce, because we can't do everything. We can't do a weekly podcast and 3 videos a week and the live streams and all that stuff. So whatever you like the most, let us know, and we're going to pick one of those surveys is going to be a $100 Tractor Supply gift card, which we're going to be giving away really soon. We're going to announce it in the next podcast episode, not the one that's releasing this week, but next one. The one we're releasing this week is on hydroponics, and it's really fantastic. We'll talk about some hydroponic updates. Survivalist Homesteader, by far my favorite podcast, $5 super chat. Thanks, guys. I can't tell you how much your support helps this show. And Survivalist Homesteader letting us know it's your favorite podcast. That's a big, means a lot, man. There's a lot of podcasts out there, and we try to do a good job with Homesteady. That's why it takes us so dang long to get each episode out. So a little update from the survey. We've been running the survey. Like I said, we have almost 500 submissions from the survey, and we've learned a lot about our audience and what you guys want. Far off, leading the pack, we asked quality versus quantity. What is more important? And more than half of you, about 60-70%, depending on the question and what we were talking about, says quality is what you like from Homesteady. And we love to produce quality content. We love quality videos. We love quality podcasts, but they do take us a bit longer. After quality was quantity. You all talked about wanting at least a video a week, if not 2 videos a week, and at least a podcast every month or twice a month. So we've heard you. We've heard what you want. That quality first approach is what we're going to stick with. But quality first does mean that we produce slower. So the future of our Homesteady YouTube channel and our podcast is quality first. Our current goal right now is 1 podcast a month, and we're trying to keep ourselves to 1 video a week. So 1 video a week and 1 podcast a month. Now, that may play out like last week. We released 2 videos about hydroponics from the same shoot, but then a week went by and we didn't produce any. So it might kind of be an average. But we know you guys first and foremost want quality content, and so that's what we're going to focus on, because that's what you said you wanted. Now, it was tough. There was some, there was a good 40% that said no, quantity. We want to keep quantity coming. And so we're going to try to still think of new ways to keep doing frequent content. And as I enter the fall here, we've been crazy on the homestead, on the farm, which we're going to talk about some updates in a minute here. But as harvest season comes, there's a lot less work on the homestead, and so we can do a little bit more work on the show and on the videos, and we'll get to that. Let's take another minute to just say hello to all who's joined us. I see some more. Brian wants Ben to take his photo now and post it. Come on, Ben, get that shirt on and send a picture. I'll put it up if you do. But we got John Lord. Welcome, John. John's a big supporter of all the homestead YouTubers. John's a good guy, and thanks for joining us, John. And he's talking about those CT ticks, guinea fowl and other geese, ducks will take them down. They're all around me. I'm sitting right next to a bed here full of ticks. And our chickens and our guineas are all on that side of the farm. There's no ticks over there, but there's plenty over here, so I don't go in there. Alex Mack will take the survey. Thanks, Alex, appreciate that. Kayla says the battery is flashing. Hope that's not my battery. We'll see. We'll keep an eye. Oh, it is my battery. It's my camera battery. Told you this was impromptu. I will, when that video dies, which it will surely do in a second, guys, I'll get up and I'll change that battery. I'll run. So you will be down for a second here. John Lord says, tap that thumbs up, people. Yes, do that. Everyone's telling me now, battery. All right, guys, I got you. I'm going to go do the battery. I'll be right back. Time me 2 seconds, or 2 minutes here. All right, we're back. And of course, they're going to do some tree work on my road. So if the audio from the tree work gets ridiculous, just let me know and we will we'll move elsewhere. This is what happens when you don't plan it and you just jump, right? So let's Allison, no other homesteading show gives you this kind of edge of your seat content. Ay, ay, ay. Amen. Let me know if that gets too loud, guys. We'll move inside. From what I can tell on my headphones, it's not picking up too much, but we'll see. So let's give you some updates from the homestead. It is harvest season, one of my favorite times of the year. We start to bring in all our hard work into the house, and we spend much less time outside working, you know, slaving away on the outside side of things, which is nice. So for us, you know, first and foremost, there's the garden. I mean, you can see right behind me. We're getting our tomato harvest here. I don't know if you can see our little cherry tomatoes. A lot of green ones still. These raised beds don't get as much sun as they should. But we got some nice big tomatoes over there you can't see in the frame, some red ones. So that's been nice, harvesting some farm fresh tomatoes. We have the potatoes that you saw us plant here on the YouTube channel. They've been doing awesome. We've just been shoveling potatoes into the house, which is really nice because we're a potato heavy family. We burn up the potatoes. So that's on the plans for next year, keep doing potatoes. The orchard has been producing already. We have some strawberries, which are ever-bearing strawberries. They give fruit all season long, not just in June. And that's been great. Just yesterday, me and my son were walking through the orchard, just, you know, keeping an eye on things. And there was like 4 or 5 fresh strawberries. Nothing better than a fresh strawberry just sitting there. So that was fantastic. The orchard is over time going to give more and more. We're, of course, going to see, you know, fruit trees starting to produce in a couple years. But it's really neat to, your very first year, start to pull some fruit out of that orchard. Ben says we can barely hear it, but I don't know, that one's pretty loud. You're gonna like pulling my driveway, watch. Town truck. They kept driving, that's good. Hello from Oregon. I said it right too. I had friends from Oregon. I'm not supposed to say Oregon. Oregon Trail. How to make your own chicken feed and store your feed long term. Good idea, Ben. That would be a good episode. Do we have any sheep these days? No, we don't have any sheep. Let's go into the livestock. So that's where we're getting to next. So we talked about the orchard. Now let's talk about our livestock, because you guys know we're pretty livestock heavy here at Homesteady. So first off, we got a ton of egg-laying chickens this year. We let each of the kids run their own egg-laying chicken business. So my son has Araucana and Americana egg layers. They lay the green-colored eggs. We got him those because he'd be able to tell his eggs apart from me. So if he sees a green egg, he knows it's his chickens. If it's a brown one, we know it's mine. Well, then this year we bought my daughter some Marins, and they lay those dark chocolate eggs. So now we have this beautiful spectrum of different colored eggs coming into the house. And it's been exciting because hers are starting to lay. She also has some Muscovy ducks, which lay as well. They lay nice big duck eggs. So both my kids have their farm fresh egg business off the ground and running. They have a couple regular customers who will text when they have some eggs for sale. I'm my personal, you know, one of my personal takes on parenting and allowance and that sort of thing. I want to raise entrepreneurial children. I don't want to raise kids who, if they don't want to have a job, I want to raise them to be able to start their own businesses, create their own products and services, and to realize that, you know, when you have a job, you expect a paycheck each week. You know, you work, you get your paycheck. Next week goes by, you work, get your paycheck. And allowance is like that. You do your work, you get your paycheck. You do your work, you get your paycheck. And there's nothing wrong with that if that's what you do. But for us personally, I'm trying to raise children who are a little bit more entrepreneurial. I believe you get a lot of freedom from running your own business, selling your own products. And if you know how to put in the work and the time to see that reward, you know, sometimes you got to put in a lot more work for less reward, but then it pays off in the long run. So I feel with kids an allowance. If you got a homestead and you can let them have their own little business from that homestead where, you know, during the winter time, they're going to be doing a lot of work with their chickens and they're not going to see a lot of results as far as egg sales. But then this time of year, it's a boom. Towards the end of summer, all the egg layers have started laying. We're getting a lot of eggs. They're selling a lot now. Now they got to learn to put some of that money aside because the winter's coming. So it teaches a lot of entrepreneurial lessons for my homeschool kids. So that's been exciting. We've been getting a lot of eggs there. We also have the turkeys. Some of you followed my turkeys, my son's turkey story. We originally bought 17 turkeys. 15 of them died within the first few days because of shipping issues. We feel they just shipped them too soon. It was a cold time of the year, and when they showed up, there were already lots of dead turkeys in there. So instead of, you know, my son doing a meat turkey endeavor this year, he wound up with just 2, and they became kind of more like mascots. Well, there's an update there. The female was killed one night. I think what happened was I think the kids wound up closing up the coops a little bit early, and maybe she hadn't gotten back yet, or somehow she did have a tendency to just find a place to sit and then stay there, and you had to kind of shoo her in, and maybe that's what happened. Then they just missed her. Because the kids have the chickens, it's their job to close the coops up at the night. So she was killed. She was a very friendly turkey. The male, like, you know, male fowl are like this, he's a little bit more unfriendly. And usually you'll find with roosters and male fowl, they'll target little kids. And as you guys know, I have lots of those on my homestead. We have a 1-year-old who the male turkey likes to target. So that male turkey will be very soon for the dinner table. What we told my son was, listen, you worked really hard at raising this bird. You know, you're not going to sell it because we wanted to have one for ourselves. So what we told him is we can have a nice kind of celebratory roast. He can pick his friends and his friends' families to come over to the homestead. We'll have a nice turkey roast and just enjoy kind of celebrating the harvest, hard work, hard year on the farm coming to a close with that turkey that he raised. And it is a beautiful big bird. So that'll be a nice meal. And it worked out better because the female he really liked. She was very friendly. It was better that we didn't wind up putting her on the table. He still gets that lesson, the circle of life. You know, we raise this to go onto the table. But it's the mean turkey that's winding up on the table as opposed to the nice one that he really liked. So that's our turkey update. We don't have any sheep or goats right now at the moment. We are cow-centric here on the homestead, and you guys saw we just have done a couple videos talking about our cows so far. We'd like to do an update video kind of you know, the first month or first month and a half or 2 with a cow, just our thoughts, and we'll have that out soon. Sit down with my wife and talk about it because that's been mostly her endeavor, the cow. It has been awesome. I am a huge fan of ruminants. Now that we have much better property layout, if you guys watched our videos over the spring where we did a lot of work to the property, we did a lot of work, you know, to the pasture, improving pasture, creating pasture. Now we have, you know, enough pasture to keep her fed, keep her moving and rotating on this pasture. She's improving the fertility of it. We'll cover some of that in some future videos. And it's just been awesome. I love having a cow. Now, she's not milking yet. She'll be milking in November. She's due to calve in November. And we'll update you. We'll be doing the milking throughout the winter season. And we'll find out, you know, I'd like to grow the ruminant side of this farm. We'll get to pigs in a minute here, but I'm getting more and more in favor of feeding as much as we can from what we have here on this property, less inputs. We'll talk about pigs and the cost in just a minute here. And so I'd like to be a little bit more ruminant-centric. So if we can get a little bit more of a cow operation here on the farm, that's a path I'd like to really head down more. And maybe sheep and goats will come back. The only thing is right now, it's amazing how easy it is to fence a cow. One little strand of the twine does it for them. But sheep and goats are a hassle to keep, and you need much better quality fencing. So as we're working on changing our fencing situation here, we will you know, keep adapting and improving towards perhaps bringing sheep and goats back, because I do like having sheep and goats, but that will be for the future. Let's take a minute here. I'm going to just see if we got any questions here. Remember to tag me at Homesteady so I can see it jump out at me when I'm reviewing the questions here. John asked if we had the solar eclipse here. It was pretty lame here, John. We did not get to see much of a eclipse. It was kind of, closed up a little bit, but not much. Didn't get very dark. All right, let's see. We have Ben wants to know. Oh, this was a good question. Or Brian. Brian actually asked this on one of our videos, and I don't know if I got back to Brian yet, but we're going to get back to him now. Brian, do you understand why people on YouTube want to raise pigs on grass instead of feeding them healthy, nutritional grain protein supplement mixes? Great question, Brian. Pigs are not ruminants, and Brian's question strikes to that. Why are people raising pigs on grass if their bodies are not made to eat grass? Humans are not ruminants. So if we go out and start eating grass, it's not going to do much for us. Just like eating lettuce, if we just eat lettuce, we're going to have a hard time getting protein. You usually don't see really buff, strong, meaty vegans, right? They have a harder time putting on size. And if that's your goal, raising like a pig is to get a pig to be, a big, full animal that you can bring to the processor. Why are you feeding it grass? So Brian, there are health benefits according to some people eating grass-fed meat. They're higher in omega, they're good omegas and less of the bad omegas. I am not a nutritionalist. I don't talk about health here on the Homesteady channel because I'm not a nutritionist. That's why. But there are people who are looking for grass-fed meat for that. So I run a business, and I feel like I answered the question. I feel like I wrote a response to Brian, but I'm not sure. So if I didn't write it, Brian, this is what I was thinking. The customers I have want grass-fed meat. They want to see pictures of the animal on grass. They want to know it's been fed grass. Whether or not there are actual health benefits, leading a healthy lifestyle out in the sunshine on grass can't be bad for an animal. It's a nice life. So a major aspect of why you see so many people on here on YouTube in this homestead movement talking about grass-fed pigs is because of that. People, maybe they have customers they're selling to, maybe they themselves are looking for the nutritional benefits of a grass-fed animal. Now here's the thing, you cannot get a pig to weight on grass alone. There are farmers who are doing it. If you look at back when we first started, we were doing research, and Sugar Mountain, he's very popular in the homestead pig world. If you read on his site, you can learn he does grass-fed pigs, they're fed hay, and they're supplemented with dairy. So you can supplement pigs, and when you say supplement, it's kind of a misnomer. I feel personally, if by supplement you mean like half their diet and the bulk they're putting on is from the dairy they're getting, it's not really a supplement. It's kind of like half of what they're eating. But they get the nutrition, they get a lot from the hay, and then they get a lot from the milk and the dairy, and the whey gives them a lot of that protein they need. So you can go that route. Some people don't want to buy these mixes because they're expensive. Like I said, we'll talk about that in a little bit here. But a lot of the reason why is just because of that, the goal of having grass-fed meat, which is supposed to be healthier for you. And also, if you have, like me, a clientele who's looking for that, that's part of your marketing. So, also, good points John Lord brought up. Wild pigs get good, wild pigs. Outdoor pigs get some more exercise, which is good for them. Let's see here, I just moved the exercise, healthy grass amino acids like whey, milk, yeah. So same ideas. John Lord asked, I have a Dexter, right? No, John, we have a good question. I didn't mention it. We have a what's the word? Not heritage. We have a Jersey. And she's more the line of the Jersey from the island of Jersey. I forget the word right now, but it's not like the commercial-sized Jersey. She's like a bit smaller of a Jersey, and just a wonderful cow. All right, let's see here. So, all right, 5 acres. Going through the questions here. Guys are talking about the similarities between humans and pigs. Some humans are identical to pigs except on the outside. Some humans are identical to pigs on the outside. All right, so let's move on from why we do the grass, why we put pigs outside. And our pigs don't get a whole lot of grass. They get some garden scraps, some grass clippings. They destroy the grass real quick. We don't put them on our nice pastures because those are for the cow. So let's talk about pigs for the season, because that's our primary business off of our homestead. And a lot of people have been interested in our pig operation in the past. So I'm just going to go through what we saw this year. Our pigs, we had 6 pigs. We raised 3 for ourselves and 3 for customers. We went through about 3 tons of feed. We buy a protein pig grower mix that's grown just an hour away on a farm. They grow it, they grind it. It's organically, it's not stamped organic, but it's organically produced. It's GMO free. It's an awesome quality feed. It costs $600. No, it costs $700 a ton. It is expensive. So if you figure a ton, I didn't do that per bag. Somebody can do the math there. There's 40 bags on a pallet. So maybe somebody can do that math and pop it up on the chat box. But anyway, it's an expensive feed. My clients want, or my customers want that. They want to have organic, non-GMO feed. We're here in Connecticut. People really care about that near where we live, and we can ask premium price for it. But man, that's expensive. It's a lot of money in feed. So to feed these pigs this year, I bought feeder pigs. They were $100 a pig. I fed them 3 tons of grain. We spent $2,700 raising 6 pigs, and 3 of those are for my family to eat. We'll get to that in a minute. So then with butcher fees, that doesn't include butcher fees, each pig's about $450 to be processed. So that means for my 3 pigs plus the 3 I raised to sell, I personally will spend, by the time I'm done with the butcher fees, $4,000 on 6 pigs. I know some of you guys out there watching in different areas of the country or even the world are like, that's crazy. We get comments all the time. You spend a fortune, that's ridiculous, you're a retard, you're so stupid. Welcome to YouTube. That's the price of good quality grain, the GMO-free stuff. It's just what the price is. It's a going rate around here. If I go to the Agway and buy a bag of GMO-free organic grain, it's even more money if I just bought it by the bag. So it is kind of the going rate around here, and same with the butcher fees. I know people write me all the time, it cost me $100 to have a pig butchered where I live. Well, I don't live there, so good for you. Take advantage of that. That's awesome. But where I live, it costs way more money. So how do I take care of that huge bill? Well, I sell pigs. So the 3 that I'm going to sell, so far I have 2.5 sold. I sell a whole pig for $900, not including butcher fees. I sell a half pig for $500, not including butcher fees. So 2.5 pigs sold. Right now I have $2,300 in the kitty. My goal is to sell 3, that final half, another $500, so that should be $2,800. Then from the 3 pigs I kept for my family, we're going to do something new this year, which you guys might want to be a part of. We're going to have an open farm day in the fall, and we're going to invite people to come see the farm. And a lot of people have told me in the past, I would love to buy your product, but I can't buy a whole or a half. So on that day, we're going to sell retail cuts with the goal of selling 100 pounds. It averages from $10 to $15 per pound, which means at $12 per pound, that additional $1,250 that I need to be even on my pigs this year, if I can sell 100 pounds of meat on that open farm day, we will be officially eating free pork for our family. That means the $4,000 spent to raise the ones we sold and to raise the 3 that we ourselves will eat minus that 100 pounds we'll sell. So it's really like 2.5 pigs. Will not cost us anything. We will not actually make profit, but we're profiting in the meat that we're going to feed our family that didn't cost us a penny if we meet our goal. So kind of a quick little glimpse into the pig business. I also have the goal every year of grossing $2,500 because that gets me tax cuts, which means more money in my pocket from farming. It saves me usually about $2,000 a year in tax cuts if I can make that goal. So all in all, our farm will be profitable in meat, in saving money. It will not be a great way to pay all my bills and feed my kids. Well, it's a great way to feed my kids. Won't be a great way to make money to pay the bills and keep the power running, but it will be good for feeding us and covering its own costs. And that's always our goal for the farm homestead business. Okay, so that's a breakdown of the pigs. If you have any questions, fire them off. I'm going to review the chat box here where looks like we're still pretty fired up about talking about pigs. People get very emotional about this homesteading stuff. But you guys keeping it classy here. So let's see here. Let's see. We got... Oh, it looks like mostly just talking about... Get feed. Where do I get feed by the ton? There's a good question. Mormon Family Homestead wants to know. We get feed by the ton at a local feed farm. So they're a farm who specializes in feed and seed. Generally, the way to find those is to ask other farmers. Find farmers who are doing kind of like what you're doing, locally sourced, you know, organic, GMO-free, at the farmer's market kind of stuff, and just ask them, where do you get your feed? That's how I found it. So Brian and John are still arguing over pigs. Agree to disagree, guys. It's okay. Any advice on selling meat to butcher shops and restaurants? Garden Channel wants to know. Great question. Selling meat to butcher shops and restaurants. Garden Channel, business broken down, simple. It's all networking. Just who you know, who you shake hands with, who you're friends with. If you go into some local restaurants that feature local sourced food and you start chatting with them, you'll get a chance. I've had restaurants before tell me they'd be interested in buying my product. I've never sold to them because I've never needed to. I always have families who want to do custom cut, and I like that best. But I have had restaurants say, I'd like to buy your product, and if I wanted to, I could have. And the reason why is because I was in there chatting with them. Say, oh yeah, we're local farmers, we raise this and that. Oh really, what do you raise? Oh, pigs, GMO-free, you know, organically raised. Oh, that's great, I'd love to buy your stuff if you have stuff. Same with butcher shops. Do business there, become friends with them. It's all networking. Business, so much of business is just who you know, who you shake hands with. All right. Ben has 2 8x8 tractors with 7 chickens in each. Is that too densely packed? All right, Ben, good question. 8x8 tractors. Let's do some math there. What's 8x8? 64 square feet? 8x8, 64. Are they in there full time, Ben? And honestly, these are the kind of things people come up with rules. You'll read rules in books, and oh, chickens should have this much square feet and this much. What it really depends on is, how do the chickens look? Do they look happy? Do you move them twice a day? If you move them, if they look like they need more movement, twice a day is good. Are they fighting? Are they molting? Are they pecking on each other? Are they looking like unhappy birds? Then probably a little too much. If they look happy and you move them enough where the grass stays healthy underneath them, I'm not big on homesteading rules and, oh, you have to have this many per square feet and stuff. Just read your animals. You might have big chickens. They might be uncomfortable. You might have little chickens and they, you know, bantams, they'd be fine. So kind of read your chickens. If they look happy, I wouldn't overthink it. As long as, if they're tearing up the grass too quickly, just move them more if you feel like doing that. We don't use the chicken tractors for permanent housing. We do the chicken netting around the tractors, so it's just for housing at night, and then we move them. And I have had, for overnight, I have had like 30 birds in our chicken tractors, which are 4x8. I've had probably 30, 35 birds. And maybe some people are like, that's horrible, that's too many birds. When you look at the birds in the chicken tractor over an entire night, I've had the GoPros running, all the birds cram into the back. And they all cuddle up and keep each other warm and lay on each other. Even in the summertime, they're all crammed together. Half that chicken tractor is still empty. If the birds were unhappy, they would spread out, but they don't. So just read your animals. I'm not big on rules. All right. So Ben says they are in there full time. Yep. Read the birds, Ben. What do they look like? Do they look happy? If they look happy, I wouldn't be too worried about it. All right. So let's move on here. We got 33 still watching. I know it's been a while, guys. So let's talk about... We're through pretty much all the farm harvest stuff. I'm trying to think here. Any more goings on? I have been fishing a ton this summer. If you've been following us on Instagram, you've been seeing I've posted a ton of fishing pics. I got bit by the fishing bug hard this season. We found a local pond with some crappie in it, and they are great eating. They make a really nice fillet. These are big pan, slab crappie, nice big fillet down the top, and yeah. So I've been taking the kids out, and my son bought his own kayak after all the money he saved up selling eggs and just doing other stuff. So he bought his own one-man fishing kayak, and me, my son, and daughter have been going out. He's 6. Nope, he's 7. She's 5. So me and her in the one kayak, and my son's in his own. We go out fishing. They're catching crappie. We're bringing them home and filleting them and having fish fries. It's just been awesome. So if you guys are into fishing, we've been doing a lot of fishing. And fall's coming, which means fishing season and hunting season gears up. I'll be doing... I'm not sure what I'm going to be doing for hunting season yet this year. We've been up in the air as to what we're going to focus on. I bow hunt, so I use the bow and arrow, and I gun hunt, whatever I can use to get the job done. And usually every year my goal is 2 to 4 deer. So we'll see if we can put a couple deer in the freezer. That's a great way to put good quality organic meat on the table. So we're going to be busy with that. Ben wants to know, have we made butter with the cow milk? Cow is not lactating yet, Ben, so still waiting on that. She will be in milk in November when she has the baby. So probably by December we'll start doing lots of milk. And we're going to have a fun time this winter with Homesteady channel. We're going to cover that whole homestead dairy thing. So we'll be making milk and cheese and ice cream and sour cream and yogurt and just documenting all that. It'll be a fun side of the channel. I'm really looking forward to all that. That's going to be good. We've been going to some fairs. This is a good fair season. If you like learning about different livestock, it's a great way to learn about them. We went to last weekend. We went to the Dutchess County Fair, which is a big fair in New York, and we'll have a couple more fairs on the docket. And I'm lining up some interviews through those fairs. We're going to focus the podcast. Let's talk about the future of the show. But before we do, we got one more good question. James wants to know, do y'all process the lard from your pigs? Is it worthwhile? Yes. Get that fat back, get that leaf lard, put it in a crock pot overnight on low. Occasionally take the spoon and skim out the liquid fat into mason jars, solidifies, becomes pure white. It's great. It looks like Crisco, but it's better for you. It's beautiful. It's great for cooking, and it's good stuff. So yes, it's worthwhile. It's easy to do. We have a video in the Homesteady Pioneer library how to do that. We also might have it here on our channel. Just search lard, pig lard, in our channel and see. Not sure if we have it here or just for the pioneers. Let's talk about the future of homesteading. So we mentioned the survey already. That survey is a huge way we're trying to decide what the future is. Like we mentioned at the beginning, quality first. You guys have told us you want quality. Now what does that mean? Quality first means quantity second, means less shows but better quality shows. There's a lot of homestead material in the podcast world and on YouTube. There's no shortage. But our specialty has always been quality. We shoot for quality first. And so you guys have told us that's what you like the most. So that's what we're going to stick to. What does that mean? Well, that means, other than the less quantity, it also means, monetarily speaking, we make much less on YouTube when we don't do like a daily or 3 times a week kind of show. And YouTube's been pretty bad. You probably heard from a lot of the homesteaders lately the way they're just monetizing videos and things. We have never focused on just YouTube revenue with our business plan for Homesteady. We have the Pioneer program. Our pioneers, it's at our website, thisishomesteady.com, have been amazing. They give us $5 a month to help us keep the show going. And what do they get in return for that? Well, they get all our Pioneers only content, a lot of classes on homesteading with professionals. I go and interview, we just did one about hydroponics with Jonathan. We have a video in the Pioneer Library where he shows the exact way to build all his stuff. We've had lots of different really good interviews in that library. So it's bonus content, and it's also discounts. So a lot of the vendors that I work with for our homestead give a 10% discount. So for $50 a year, you can be a Pioneer, you can support Homesteady, and in return, you get discounts on all your trees in your orchard, comfrey cuttings. So we have Northeast Edibles, a vendor. You could buy, 10 trees at $50 a tree, get 10% off of that. There's $5 right there. Nope, there's $50 right there. That pays for your year. Marsh Creek Farmstead does a discount on comfrey cuttings, so there's discounts there. got a discount on Leatherman knives. I keep a Leatherman on me all the time. You've seen them in my videos. So 10% discount from NW Supply on Leatherman knives. We just added Jonathan, Fairfield County Hydroponics. So if you want to buy one of his kits, or get him to build a kit, he's given a 10% discount to the pioneers for hydroponic systems. John Siskovich, all his chicken tractor books and chicken tractor information and all that stuff, 10% off. Power Plucker. Power Plucker gives a discount to our pioneers for the drill. Hold on. Our camera here. Okay, that should do it. So Power Plucker, drill bit, chicken pluckers, and chicken killing cones and that sort of thing. All discounts. So we're quality first, not quantity. We're going to make less money on YouTube, but that's okay. The pioneers keep supporting us. And in return, the pioneers get those discounts. So guys, if you're interested in becoming a Homesteady pioneer, head over to thisishomesteady.com, click on pioneers. You can help us make the show each month, and in return get a ton of discounts for your homestead, which can pay for your membership and all our bonus content. So there it is. That's how we're planning on building that's how we started with our business plan as Homesteady way back at the beginning when we were just a podcast. And that's really how we focused on growing the channel. We are going to focus heavily back in the podcast world, because when we did our survey, we found that more people from the podcast, when we asked everyone, what's your favorite thing, the podcast won. Everyone liked the podcast first. YouTube was close second, but it was second. So we'll still be creating for YouTube. You will not see a dedicated, twice a week video. You will see videos that are kind of orbiting around the subjects of our podcast, and as we do, updates with live streams and that sort of thing. But it will be second to the podcast, because we just saw more of our fans cared about the podcast. And we have, right now, our podcast, each episode is getting 20,000 downloads, which when you figure we have 20,000 subscribers here on YouTube, I can make a video on something like fishing and I'll get 500 views. Whereas, maybe other topics will fire off on YouTube, but with the podcast, every episode, 20,000 downloads. So we're really able to reach a big audience there. But we're not going to stop doing YouTube, because honestly, I love making videos, and I really like being in touch with the YouTube community. So YouTube will still continue. It'll just be kind of orbiting around. Now, if you want to change that, if you want to make YouTube kind of the top runner in the bunch, go and take that survey and tell us that you like YouTube first and foremost. And that could change the numbers. And we want to do what our audience, the biggest part of the audience, whatever the most people want, is what we want to focus on. So we will do that. Let's see here. A hardiness approach says, how do we do the pioneer? Would it be an advantage to us if we are not in the Northeast? Good question, hardiness approach. So to become a pioneer, you go to thisishomesteady.com, click on pioneers in the header, and right there you'll come to a page that says, if you're not a pioneer, click here. You become pioneer. It's a subscription. It's either $5 a month or $50 for the whole year. And so that you can pay with credit card, and it's just an auto renew subscription. Will it be an advantage to you if you're not in the Northeast? Well, that depends on what you're signing up for. If you're signing up for the bonus content, that's good everywhere. So we have 5 pages worth of videos and classes and podcasts that are only available to the pioneers. And they are the more business level and really in-depth stuff. So if you like the motivational, inspirational, fun, that's not what the library's full of. The library's full of like the real hardcore stuff. It's less edited, it's more concentrated, just knowledge. So for the serious homesteaders and the serious people who are planning to do a real heavy-duty homesteading in the future, bam, that's what the library's for. And as far as the discounts, you can get discounts on Leatherman knives. You can get discounts. That applies to anyone, anywhere. Northeast Edible does ship some trees, so you could get some trees shipped depending on the season. So, yep, you could take advantage of that. Same, I think, with the comfrey cuttings. The hydroponic kits are shipped, so you could go, or the consultations. There are a few things that wouldn't apply, like you can't, get like an installation from Jonathan at Fairfield County Hydroponics. But we're adding new stuff every day, and most of the stuff, Power Plucker, ships anywhere in the country. So most of your discounts do apply no matter where you live. So hope that helps the question. Wolf the Crazy says, why are there so little people watching? It's pretty standard, Wolf. For a channel, it's kind of sad, but 20,000 subscribers, 30 people watching is pretty standard. Again, kind of why we're focusing more on the podcast. What else? Can pressure cook fat slabs for easy lard processing? That's a good idea. Wolf says, there's a problem with your videos. They don't apply for me. I live in Europe. That's true. Some of our videos don't apply, especially all the tax stuff and the business, legal stuff. But a lot of the other stuff, Wolf, you know, depending on the animals and that sort of thing. If you're raising chickens, I don't think European chickens are that much different than American chickens, are they? Do they have like an accent? Let me know. Guys, this has been really fun. It's been a long time since we've done a proper live stream like this. And it's been good catching up with you, being in touch with you guys. We're going to be releasing a really good podcast on hydroponics with some of the videos you've seen. Some of that will be in the sound bites. But there's some interviews that aren't included here on the YouTube channel. We'll put that podcast out, and I might upload it to YouTube as well for those of you who don't do podcasts. Swamp Creek Cabin, hello, first time on your live stream. Thanks for joining us, Swamp Creek. We're just about shutting down, so we're just about over, but thanks for, you got in at the end here. So that's good. Any other questions? Fire them off quick, guys. Tag at Homesteady. Don't forget, if you want to win a $100 gift card, go take that survey. It'll be a Tractor Supply gift card, so if you shop at Tractor Supply or on the internet, be good to go. Talked about our harvest season. Talked about the future of Homesteady. Podcast first. Still lots of YouTube. Quality first. We're going to make less money from the, you know, the YouTube algorithm and all that. But if you guys want to help us keep going and get all those discounts that we give our pioneers, it's like a buyer's club. Become a pioneer. That's the way to support us and to get discounts in return and all the bonus content. And that's about everything, guys. Mormon Family Homestead. We talked about turkeys. We do raise them. You can go back in the video and catch what you missed. A fall walk around the homestead James wants to see. We can definitely do that. Not today, because today I'm shooting on a different setup. Today I'm shooting on my my fancy. Let's show you here before we close off. So we got the live stream fancy setup. We got the computer and the microphone and the special light that gives me this sweet tanned glow. And we're shooting off this nice Canon on a tripod here. So can't do the walk around today, but we'll do that in the future. We'll do another live stream soon. Thanks for joining us, guys. And if you want to stay in touch with everything we're doing, get on our email list. This is homesteady.com. Right on the homepage there. If you click to take the survey, it'll put you on the email list. But get on that email list, because that's how you'll find out about everything, whatever changes we make. All right. I can think of nothing else to update you on. So thank you for helping us to get to 20,000 subscribers. It's a year and a half in the making for the YouTube channel, 20,000 subscribers. We had our 1,000,000th view and our 1,000,000th podcast download last month, so that was pretty epic. And we couldn't have got this far without you guys, and let's hope we can get a lot further with you guys too, as we grow our homestead and the podcast and the videos, and sharing our journeys together. And John and Brian, we'll bury the hatchet there and agree to disagree about pigs, guys. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll talk to you soon. And thanks for joining us here on Homesteady. Stay tuned for the podcast later this week.